These short form vertical videos with sermon clips on church social media accounts have kind of become the normal thing to see from churches, but honestly, it could be hurting you more than it's helping you to post these. Let's talk about why. How's it going, everybody? My name is David. I'm the head video editor here at REACHRIGHT, and we like to make content like this that helps out churches and nonprofits all the time. So if this is the kind of thing that interests you, it would mean a lot to us if you could hit that like button and then subscribe so that you're notified every single time that we release a video. Now, followers of our channel will know that we've actually said many times in the past through numerous videos that it's a good idea to post these sermon clips. So now, why all of a sudden am I changing things up and saying it could be hurting you? Well, it depends how you're doing this. They've also just been around for a while, so the number one reason why it could be bad is they kind of just become white noise. Today, I'll give you some practical ideas that you can actually apply to your church's social media strategy, but before we even get there, you do have to answer that question of why are you even posting, or more importantly, who is your content for? Church accounts that do well do seem to post a variety of content, but when you really dissect the churches that are being successful in their content, they usually kind of niche down, they call it, and they'll kind of hone in on one style of video. Some churches do a lot of really humorous and kind of meme type content as their majority of their content, while other churches stay a little bit more serious and most of their short form vertical videos are just recaps of their service, or they're actually just sermon clips. I think it's a good idea to explore with your social media strategy, but really you can't do that until you answer the question of who is our content for? Genuinely think about it. Who is that person in your community that you hope scrolls to a video, and what do you want them to get from it? Once you answer that question, we can move forward and you can actually apply these strategies. The first idea I want to talk about is a tool to kind of help you get the ball rolling. If you don't really know what kind of content you want to be posting, you just want to try a few things out and see what works, this tool is really helpful to kind of just get you started. Now, this specific deck of cards is actually created for churches' social media, so it's all going to be ideas related to something that a church would normally post, but I can't even find these available to purchase anymore. This is from sundaysocial.tv, and you can go to their website and check out their paid plans. It's all stuff to still help you with your social media. I just can't find this specific deck of cards. You can search for kind of social media strategy deck of cards still, and it's generic for all sorts of businesses, and it will still kind of get you the same idea, so I do recommend looking into something like this. But to give you an idea of how these work, let's say you have no idea what to post that day, so you're just gonna shuffle these up, pick out a random one, and decide if you wanna use it. Again, you don't have to, it's your account. Share a sneak peek or preview of something that you're planning on Sunday. For example, my church has a water baptism come up, and we might not even think to do anything other than just share a graphic. But if I were to pull this card out, it would actually get my creative juices thinking and be like, you know what? We're gonna fill up the tub early. We're gonna get the baptism shirts ready. Maybe I actually need to show that stuff on social media and get people excited. Ask your congregation why they decide to attend or volunteer. You could just post that in a story and see what people respond to. Reimagine a Bible story as a text message conversation and make it funny. See, these are really good, and you can use something like ChatGPT to help you if you have no idea where to even start. Just tell ChatGPT to do this specifically and see what it comes up with. And then I would definitely fact check to make sure that that verse is correct. Okay, for the next ideas, it actually is going to kind of just be what you're normally doing with these sermon clips that you're used to posting, but how do you actually kind of spice them up in a different way? Like I said earlier, these short form vertical videos with the captions are becoming white noise to people. So what I do instead is I find a way to actually get this sermon clip and make it just a post on our page. A post versus a reel, at least on Instagram, I actually think is starting to make the pendulum swing of getting people more interested. It used to be the older thing and reels were the hot newness, but now reels are so just, I don't know, they're the norm now. So it's kind of a pendulum swing back in highlighting how can you make your posts good. But what I do is I usually still use that same sermon clip moment, but I kind of think, what is a good takeaway from this moment? What could somebody listen to this reel, let's say, and walk away with, and use that as just a generic text statement in a post. Then what I do is I actually add a second slide as a carousel to provide context for that statement that I made. So the idea is people are kind of scrolling, they see this post and it says a statement that might interest them, and then they slide over and they get the context of the sermon moment clip. But for that second slide, what I do is I actually just add a audio spectrum that actually reacts accordingly to my pastor's speaking audio.
When I thought about the word true heart, is he knows. He knows the deep, dark places of ourselves, the places we think that we can hide. And the invitation is to come to him with a true heart.
You can just use Canva and get a generic one that moves. People usually don't notice. And then if there's a verse that kind of goes with that moment, I'll put that verse below as well. So again, this is still just posting a sermon clip technically, but it's really a good way to get people to kind of stop, read a statement that interests them, and then discover the context for that moment. The second idea is really gonna help churches that want new people in the community to discover them and learn what they're about. We talked earlier about how posting a wide variety of content on your page is actually a bad idea, but one thing that all churches should be doing is grabbing a variety of photos. Do this over time through multiple Sundays and actually collect and create a database. There's tools like SmugMug that are great for this. And be intentional with these photos. It can even be taken with something as simple as an iPhone, but actually go out of your way to try to capture these moments. What you're doing is you're wanting to find the moments that capture the values of your church. Get pictures of events that your church does, sure, but also get pictures of your pastor speaking, get pictures of people worshiping, get pictures of your greeters greeting people and hugging them. All things that actually show the values of your church. And what you're gonna do for a social media post is you're going to post it as normal, just like a slideshow. Then in the caption, you're gonna be writing it intentionally, saying the things that your church does and inviting people to be a part of that if they're looking for a church. The reason that your caption is going to be written intentionally for somebody new to join your church is because you are going to sponsor this post specifically, and you're gonna do it once a month. Putting just a little bit of money and actually boosting these types of posts will make sure that it's a sponsored ad, and people searching for churches in their area are going to see a post that kind of encapsulates everything. This is a church I can be a part of. They do community outreach. They have greeters that greet me when I get there and make me feel a part. And since it's a sponsored post, it's actually going out to multiple people in your community that Instagram or whatever platform you're posting on might not push to otherwise. For our fourth strategy, this might actually be the easiest one to implement for you churches that are already doing these short form sermon clips with just the generic captions. You're still gonna post these sermon clips as normal, but in editing, take a moment that actually will capture people's attention as that first 3 seconds of the video. And for sermon clips, this is great because a lot of times maybe there's a moment in that clip where your pastor is making some declaration that's exciting, but people want the context for that. So they're gonna hear the exciting declaration, and then the whole clip is going to, by itself, restart from the beginning to give the person context. And for the last idea, maybe you guys are doing this already, but you can either do it as posts or just do this for your Instagram stories. But I would highly recommend talking to your pastor, or if you are the pastor, I would highly recommend taking some intentionality to do this. Start sharing your daily devotions. The truth is right now, a lot of people don't even read the Bible, or they don't even know how to read the Bible. So to show them what it's really like outside of a Sunday to live your life for Christ and get into his word is really helpful for people, but you wanna do it in an approachable way. I personally feel like these are best done not with a bunch of lights and microphones and cameras set up, but it's really best done just with a phone front-facing camera, just sharing your devotion. But you wanna do it in an intentional way where it's really short, try to keep it to 60 seconds, maybe just talk about what you walked away from and the verse that you read, and then make sure to also include a next step for people that might not even know how to read the Bible. Just say, hey, if this encouraged you today, I highly recommend checking out a reading plan that you can follow along with me as we get into the word this week. Here's the reading plan. I'll link it in the story below. Maybe some of you guys are like, we actually want to post those vertical sermon clips with the captions. We just don't even know how to do that, and we have no editing skill or the time. Well, AI will actually do it all for you. All you need to do is copy and paste a YouTube link, and we did an entire video covering it right here that you should check out.